Hey, Riddle here. Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to give you some surprising updates on my chronic fatigue situation. It's been months since I posted. The last post I gave you was about going on Naltrexone. If you are suffering from chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, first of all, I want to say I'm sorry. It's such a crazy, lonely, isolating disease. It makes no sense. And like many of you, I went from being this super active, super go-getting, super happy guy, person, human, to just shut down and not having the energy to do anything. And the doctors just would not help me. They wouldn't help me. I tried everything, and all they did was milk me for blood work and more money and more money. And they would, psychologists and, oh, you're not depressed, and rheumatologists, and of course they never followed through with anything. And, they just want to string you along and then put you on a bunch of drugs that aren't going to do a goddamn thing for you anyways, because they don't know what they're treating. They don't know what they're doing. It's a really mysterious disease. So at some point in my desperation, I found Naltrexone, and my doctor refused to practice medicine. She wouldn't do it. So I had to find an alternative doctor, a homeopathic doctor, who actually would prescribe the Naltrexone. And in the beginning, the Naltrexone was fantastic. It not only gave me back energy, but it also lifted my psychological state. So even days that I was tired, I still could function mentally, and it was lovely for a month or two or three. And then it evened out. And I started feeling not despairing, and I'm still taking the Naltrexone because I find that it really helps to keep me just a little bit mentally up, because I have a tendency to spiral. But some other things have happened that I want to share with you. And the thing about healing yourself is you have to find your own answers. One size does not fit all, and we all have to figure out what works for us as individuals. And this is one of the reasons that Western medicine doesn't work for a lot of people. So first of all, I want to say I'm a man of science, and so some of the things I'm going to share with you was bizarre to me also. But in my desperation, I went to a shaman and she performed a ritual, a session where she helped to lift some energy that might have been placed on me, or I might have placed on myself from the past, that was draining me and pulling me down. And I don't know if that worked or not. It felt great during the time, could be completely psychosomatic, but the thing is, I was actively pursuing healing myself. So whether it was a placebo or it worked, it was still me in the game of trying to help myself, which is really important, that you stay in the game. Stay in the game. Secondly, I realized that I've always had this gift. Again, can't explain it through science, but I'm an incredibly intuitive person. They actually have kind of explained it through science. I grew up in a really violent alcoholic home, and we kids had to be super sensitive. We always had to be on, because when the shit hit the fan, out of self-preservation, we had to know what to do so we didn't get beaten. And this turned into being a really hypersensitive or empathic person. Now, empathic sounds like this metaphysical thing, but it's not as metaphysical as it is. It was a tool of survival. And I brought that into my adult life because I needed it in my childhood. But what it did is it has made me so hypersensitive to energy that I would go out in public with my spouse or with a friend, and I'm just like, oh God, he has terrible energy. Oh my God, can you feel that woman? And I would just literally, I can hear and I can feel all of this garbage around me that no one else can. And I thought it was normal, because it's just who I am naturally. But what it was doing ultimately is not only keeping me from wanting to socialize and go out, because I couldn't protect myself or guard myself from everyone else's energy and being so sensitive to especially the negative energy more than the positive, but it was draining me. And this goes back to the chronic fatigue. And a lot of empaths or highly sensitive people also suffer from chronic fatigue. So again, back in the game, because it wasn't just when I went out in public then I realized I had a lot of obsessive thoughts and a lot of things that were draining me daily, mentally and psychologically, that was unnecessary, but nevertheless, they were putting a huge drain on me. And I don't know if you've experienced this with the chronic fatigue, but sometimes something emotional or some sort of mental stress can be 10 times more exhausting than when I do something physical that would take me down for several days to a week. So I want you to be really aware, if you're a sensitive person, that one of your triggers or one of your big drains for this chronic fatigue thing may be that you are not allowing yourself to protect your mind and to shut your mind out from all that energy constantly making demands on it. And when your mind's constantly spinning and you're constantly feeling these emotions that are your own but maybe not even your own, it does fatigue you. So I'm in the process of learning how to protect myself, and when I go out in public or when I'm alone and I start hearing this, these thoughts are becoming obtrusive or these emotions are becoming obtrusive, saying, those aren't mine, or I don't need to put energy into this. And it has, again, brought me a ton of energy back. It's been very healing just to be aware of it, and I haven't even mastered it yet. Number 3, my friends who are suffering with chronic fatigue, diet. Okay. I've always believed in moderation. The gluten-free thing, I have friends who are validly allergic to gluten, and I'm just like, I'm very sensitive to them. When they visit me, I'll do gluten-free for them. But for the most part, I eat whatever the hell I want to eat in moderation. It keeps me in good shape, and I take my vitamins, exercise, and it's all good. I thought, it's as simple as that. These people are crazy. Grains, gluten, sugar. Now, I don't eat a lot of sugar. I never have, but I did get in the habit of having a couple of glasses of wine or spirits every night because we live in wine country, and quite frankly, wine is cheaper than water here. So when you can get a decent bottle of wine for $5 or $6, it becomes a lovely habit. And what those are is sugar, it's carbohydrates, and I was consuming them, like 1,000 calories or more of sugar before I went to sleep every night, which was affecting my sleep probably and not doing a lot of great things for my body. So just for the hell of it, not that I wanted to lose weight, it wasn't the idea of this diet, but because I wanted to be in the game, wanted to heal myself, again, got to be an active participant in your healing, doing anything you can to reclaim your life. A friend and I committed to the keto diet. The keto diet. Hell, it's a really, really disciplined, really difficult thing. No refined sugars. Actually, almost no sugars at all. Can't even have a lot of fruit. And we went hardcore. Almost no carbohydrates whatsoever, and absolutely no grains. You'll have to read about what the keto diet does to the body and why people profess it to be this amazing healing tool. So I am 30 days into the diet, and I have to say I feel great. It was worth it. It was worth giving up the pizza and the chocolate. Although I still have chocolate, I just don't do the sugar. I do sugar-free. I have tons of sustained energy from the time I wake up to the time to go to bed. And at my age, I was getting fat, not fat like obese, but I was getting the old man fat, in those places, like a little bit around the back and the sides and the front that I didn't think I'd ever be able to get rid of. I just thought that's age. That's how it is. But guess what? 3 weeks into this, it's all disappearing. I'm literally becoming younger, and I'm feeling really, really well. So those are 3 things you may want to consider in the process of healing yourself from the chronic fatigue fibromyalgia. Diet, spirituality and your mental state, and a little crutch. The Naltrexone works amazing. For me, it worked amazing. I hope it works well for you, but again, everyone's an individual. My choice, I'm going to keep taking it until I feel like I'm safely out of the woods, but it has been quite a while now, and I haven't had an episode, and I'm feeling great. So I'm going to leave you with that. If you have any questions or comments, or you just need some support, please feel free to leave comments below. And people don't judge those comments, because we all have our own way of processing and suffering and conquering these things. So we need to give each other space. And by giving each other space, it means just listening, unless you want help, and then ask for it. And I'll do my best not to be judgmental or to force my ideas or what worked for me on you also. And this is something I'm also learning as an empath, is that even though I sense what people need, it's not always what people need. So take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And thanks for everybody who has supported me in my darkest times, you know, with all the suicide out there now. And yeah, this almost brought me to that. No shit, it was that bad. And people have no idea, the people closest to me have no idea that I was that close to giving up. So if you're dealing with this, you're not alone. And please feel free to reach out to me personally anytime with any questions or anything you need to share. And it's not easy, and I'm not going to pretend like it's easy to fix this, but you have one person here that is feeling well, who has done it. And I had to step out of a lot of my own fixed ideas, but it's working. It's working, and it's working well for me. And I don't think anyone was put on this planet to suffer. You know, we weren't born to suffer. Learn from your suffering, and I hope you feel well soon. I really feel that deeply. I hope you feel well soon. If you like my channel, please subscribe. It helps. I'm going to do my best to post more often, stay positive, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Bye.